Hello, John Dilworth here, and I want to speak to you about the gentleman you are looking at now, and that smile. Look at this face. This gentleman is Howard Beckerman, and he was my first master. I was a freshman at school, animation school, and this gentleman, this smile, was my master. Now, he passed away on June 29th at a glorious age of 93, and he was all there. The imagination, the sharpness of wit, the compassion, the tolerance. He had it all, still, 93. And I'm not saying that animators have it good. But there is something about the eternal boy, man, or child, the girl, woman, or whatever it is, this eternal youth, sense of spirit and play and spontaneity and imagination and just what is going on here, exactly, attitude. And he had it. Look at those eyebrows. I mean, I have to tell you, I wasn't polite. I was always teasing him about his eyebrows. I guess I was envious. I want eyebrows like Howard. But Howard he was more than a mentor. He was my master, and I learned so much about dignity and discipline from him, and a sense of humor. He lived a lot. He lived a big life, 93 years, you can imagine. He was in the military, of course. This was the day. That's what young men did. And then he went on to become a master animator and a director at the big New York studios. He was just a New Yorker, all New Yorker. And he lived doing what he loved, is hand-drawn animation. He worked at Terry Toons, UPA. These were big studios at the time. Paramount, making cartoons, making commercials. And when I met him, he had his own shop. He was doing commercials with his then wife, Iris, and they were on 45th Street. And one of his most famous commercials was the Black Flag ads, where this flag would come off the spray can and snap a cockroach dead. But the animal couldn't die right away. It had to have a wiggling leg just to give it signs of like it could survive. And Howard always said, well, the agency people were like, well, it couldn't kill the thing right off because then it would kill us. And that's, yeah, so that's a product placement, right, of insecticide. But I was very lucky because he, in many ways, but he invited me to become an intern for him. And that was all exciting, I was up there at 45th Street in a very upper floor studio. And one of his first assignments to me was he handed me a stack of animation cells. And he said, will you please carry these over to the next room and just put them on the desk over there? And please don't drop them. And so he hands me the stack of cells. I turn around to leave, and lo and behold, I drop them. And they scatter all over the floor. Oh my God. Can you believe this? I have no idea if that happened to me too, and I don't know. And he was so calm about it. So cool. Of course, I had to clean all the cells and put them back in order. But generally, this is not what interns do, And so there it is. And I think about, was that his first professional opinion of me? That I was a klutz? I love that. Oh, and of course not, because after graduation, we became colleagues and friends. I mean, we would hang out and just laugh. And he had so many, oh boy, he had so many stories. And being a master animator, the imagination knew no limits. And this photograph I'm borrowing from the one that Tom Cito, a classmate, at the time. He was a little older than I, but we both shared Howard. But Tom's an animator, famous, really, historian and professor currently. And this is his photo of Howard. It's a great one. I would have to look into the archives to find photos with Howard and I, and that would just take, yeah, that would be too long. But I did want to put something up in a timely manner, as it's the 4th of July currently, and celebrating makes sense to me, and celebrating this beautiful man and all that he passed on to so many, all the students that for 40 years he was a pedagogue, and you can imagine the influence he's had. So this is my gratitude for knowing him, and one day we all will end up in this beautiful place he is in now. Stay animated.